And good morning, everybody. Good morning. Do me a favor, invite somebody, share. It's coffee time. Oh, yeah. And good morning, everybody. Uh-oh. I don't need an amen, but thank you. It's coffee time. Do me a favor, invite somebody, share. Tell somebody we are on live. And today we're talking about stop fighting you. The struggle is real. Self-struggles and personal insecurities that lead to constant anxiety. There are people that walk around in constant anxiety primarily because the root of all anxiety is some level of fear somewhere. And sometimes you're going to have to sit down and get in a quiet place to figure out, where the fear is, where is it coming from, because you can't address what you don't know. Sometimes it's fear and anxiety comes from when you've gone through something, having to go through it again. The stress that causes on the mind, as well as the body, can cause a level of anxiety. But then on the other side, sometimes the anxiety of what we are feeling is a result of what we do not want to do. That's what we're going to be talking about this morning. So do me a favor, invite somebody, share. So when I'm using the French press, I'm literally making the coffee as we talk. So this morning, that's what you saw me doing. French press does it best. It pulls all of the flavor out. You talking about good. Huh. You haven't had good coffee until you've had it in a French press. God, I thank you for life. Hold up, Asata. In the beginning, God made coffee. How are you all doing this morning? So let's dive right in. Let's see who's on. Tina White McPherson, good morning. Nikki Nicole Mitchell, good morning. Star Brown, good morning. LJ Jones, good to see you, lady. Michelle Byers, good morning. Latanya Dixon, good morning. Chanel Bracy, good morning. And Tanya Thomas. Tanya, it's time to make, this is so weird to me because last night I went to bed thinking about you and your pageant, and it's time to take it to another level. There's some other stuff that you've got to produce. I think you know what they are. Maybe you don't. Either way, I want to help you try and discover what that is. It's time for you to take that next step. Yeah. God does some crazy stuff. India Songbird, what's up, sis? Sunshine 1113. Good morning. God will tell you, to start a business. You just bounce the check. God will tell you to build a house. You don't have the resources. Generally speaking, when God is promoting you or expanding you, it comes at the expense of having nothing, because that is what requires us to trust him, to lean on him. We get comfortable. When we've done the same thing a few times, we get comfortable, and it's in that comfort that we begin to settle. That's one of the things we're going to be talking about this morning as well. We begin to settle, and it's always time for you to reinvent you, recreate you. It's always time to add to your vision. Your vision and its expansion is contingent on your ability to go further than where you've been and do more than what you've done. If you're not constantly in that cycle, I doubt very seriously that you're in the plan. And this morning is going to be kind of rough for you because I'm not pulling no punches with you. But this morning, it's time for us to move forward. Tanya, there's more that you're supposed to do. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. So this morning, we're talking about stop fighting you. Why is it that we struggle? We know what we should do, but we struggle with the fear, procrastination. How does procrastination sets in that every time we're supposed to do something, there's something else in you that hinders you from doing it? How have you given the power to procrastination to hinder you from your next level, your next journey? How? Why? Why are you so afraid? Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why procrastination is there, and I'm going to tell you why you're afraid. Procrastination, the root of procrastination is fear as well. It is. I want you to think about that. Good Jesus, who was born in the manger, died on the cross, rose again on the third day. This coffee is amazing. It even smells amazing. Did you think about what I told you? Don't be worried about me and my coffee. There's a mental discord that happens when we procrastinate. Here's what happens. Your heart and your head are supposed to move in harmony. A lot of times the heart, when we talk about the heart, the limb, we're dealing with the immaterial you. We're dealing with the inner you. We're dealing with the part of you that makes decisions, the soul. Your head houses reasonings. So you got to think about it. You know you're supposed to do this, you know you're supposed to that, but you want to think about it. And the longer you think without movement, the more you begin to open the door for procrastination to set in. You have got to learn how to move when you get the idea. When you get the idea, you got to start doing research. When you get the idea, you got to start making connections. When you get the idea, you got to start setting dates, because the idea was given to you to accomplish something in the earth. And the reason you have to accomplish that in the earth is there is somebody else sitting somewhere waiting on you to step out to this thing, because you have the answer to the problem that they've been praying about. And your inability to move, and your inability to be obedient, and your ability to walk in procrastination prolongs their suffering, and it prolongs the place that they're in. The way life has been designed is that we are all connected, kind of like dominoes. When you move here, something else moves there, and then there's a chain that is created that is unseen with the naked eye. But the chain is incomplete without you. You have got to stop giving yourself space to be disobedient. Oh yeah, that's what you've done. You've reasoned it. You've watered it down. You've come up with every logical excuse that you can, but every logical excuse is illogical, primarily because if he gave it to you and he wants you to do it, that means he's going to give you the power, the strength, and the resources to get it done. So the more you use whatever as excuse to not move out, the more you begin to promote disobedience in your heart, and it becomes hard for you to hear him the next time. Tell somebody, tell yourself, do it now. Come on, do it now. Do it now. You've got to have a do it now mentality. You've got to develop the mentality that requires you to be in constant movement. Stop taking breaks talking about vacation. You don't need no vacation. You haven't even gotten it done. You complaining about resources, but you bought them shoes in that purse. That's because you've put yourself above the plan. You've elevated yourself to a place where you learned how to reason and rationalize to the point that you're pulling yourself out of the place where you're supposed to be. And I'm telling you, the rhythm that you're looking for in life, the happiness, the peace, the joy, all of it is there in the place where you're supposed to be. It's the posture and position of happiness that comes when you're fulfilling what you're supposed to do. Oh, I know I'm talking good this morning, and I'm not going to be before you long. I'm talking good. I have never been more happy. I've never been more at peace than when I am executing and exercising the things that he's told me to do. It's when I get in the flow, I get into my flow of doing what needs to be done, that I'm happy. Now, here's the other thing. I will chastise anybody around me that would try to hinder me from doing what I'm supposed to do. I will snap, go off. You can't. If you're not going to go with me, get out of my way, because we act like we got forever. We do. We treat time as if it belongs to us. We have the arrogant assumption that time belongs to us and we can choose when we're going to do what. Time is running out on you. It is. You're getting older. Stuff hurt now that's never hurt before. Time's running out on you. You've got to do what you're supposed to do, and you've got to do it now. There is a synergy. If I was in church, I'd say there's an anointing that literally joins with you when you begin to execute, and what you thought was going to be hard and challenging becomes easy, not because it's without challenge. It becomes easy because the grace that you need to fulfill it, you're now walking in it. So looking at it from a distance, it seems extremely challenging or hard. It does. But once you get into flow, once you get into that flow and that grace meets you, it becomes easy. But the enemy of your mind doesn't want you to know how peaceful and easy it is. So he torments you with the fear of the future by causing anxiety. And you feed that anxiety the more you procrastinate. How long are you going to wait on you? How long are you going to fight with you? How long are you not going to do the thing that you say you were going to do? You keep telling yourself you're going to do it, but there's no consistent action. You start out good. And it's so easy for you to quit. How? This thing has to be anchored in you. You've got to believe in it, and you've got to believe in the God of it, because there are going to be so many other things to come and contest what you believe. But when you're anchored, you don't move. You don't. I have challenges all the time that make me question why I do what I do, but I'm always able to come back with the answer on why I'm getting it done. I'm able to answer the questions from my enemy, and sometimes the enemy is my own mind. I'm able to this is what I was born for, because I have a solid conviction that I'm where I'm supposed to be. And you can't move me. You can't stop me. You can't hinder me. If you get in the way, I'm going to run you over. If you stand on the side and try to pull me that way, I'm going to shake you off, because I have a conviction. I've got to get it done, and I've got to get it done now, because I believe my next move is connected to my greatest move, and my greater can't come until I start moving now. Oh, it's tight, but it's right. Got to move now. You've got to move now. And you've got to stop fighting yourself. How do you stop fighting yourself? You've got to train yourself how to move when you get the idea. See, we train our soul to do the stuff that it does. The enemy don't have any control over you. There's no devil that's stopping you. There's no demon, the spirit of this and the spirit. Nah, it ain't no spirit. It's you. You're the problem. And one of the reasons you can't embrace the problem is you refuse to recognize the problem. You're the problem, not your mama, your daddy, not what you've been through, not what you have, not what you don't have, not the opportunities that were snatched, not this person. That you are the problem. Because if God brings you to it, he's going to take you through it. He's going to equip you and give you everything that is needed to get it done. But you've got to have a made up mind. Though the storms keep on raging in my life, my soul's been anchored. Well, what is my soul's been anchored in the Lord, and everything that the Lord has told me, my soul is anchored in it. He's giving me confirmation that this is the route that he wants to take, because when I take this journey, my peace unlocks, my happiness unlocks, my joy unlocks, my provision unlocks. I have more now than I've ever had before, not because I'm smart, because I'm obedient. Yes, sir. I'm obedient. Obey. Shut your mouth. Shut up. Y'all remember I used to do this back in the day on coffee time. Shut your mouth. Come here. Come here. Shut up. Stop giving yourself excuses to get out of what you're supposed to be doing. Well, I'm not sure this is it. Do it anyway. If you're doing something and you're not sure if it's that, at least you have movement. Listen, if it's not that, it's going to lead to that. If it's not that, God's going to break it up and he's not going to let you go further. But you got to do something. Sitting on the side causes bed sores to set in. And those bed sores get there, then you're unable to move as you wish. You've got to get moving on something, because moving on something creates strength. It creates energy. It allows you to make connections. You got to do something. You can't just sit on the side of the bed, pray and wonder. Prayer without action is like walking without feet. You're going nowhere. It's an illusion in your mind. I listen to people all the time tell me why I'm where I'm at. Well, pick it you where you are, because you're multi-gifted and you have a multifaceted imagination that causes you to dream. And it's in those dreams you've learned how to skillfully approach. Man, I told a guy, boy, shut up. That's not where I am. That's not why I'm where. It's not. It has nothing to do with my gift. Because to be honest with you, I never thought my gifts were all of that. I used to struggle with insecurity. I hated me. I don't want to hear that crap. That's not the truth. Let me tell you why I am where I am. One day I believed in something he told me and I pursued that. I put everything that I had in that. And that one thing taught me how to pursue everything else. You got to give it everything you have. And if you get tired while you're trying, he's going to give you strength. They that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. That word waiting is activity. It's moving while you're praying. It's moving while you're believing. And if God don't want you to do it, he knows how to interrupt it. All right. I think I've done what I'm supposed to do. Thank you all for tuning in. You were born to win, predestined to succeed. There's nothing that can happen to you today that the wisdom on the inside of you cannot handle. You got to calm down, slow down, trust God, be quiet, use emotional intelligence, and let wisdom speak. When you let wisdom speak, you will always win. It's time for you to do it and stop fighting yourself. You are hindering your progress and your success because you keep making up these dumb excuses for why you can't do what you're called to do. They're dumb. Now you need to sow this morning. You do, because I told you the truth. And you need to get, now you're not giving to unlock nothing. You ain't giving it to some anointed. No, that's not why you're giving. You're giving to be a blessing to other people. The way that this is blessing you, when you give, we're able to bless other people. Let me put my Cash App on this screen before I have to come through this screen and get you together. You know better. Should have been done it. And don't get mad, because I'm telling you like it is. Don't get mad. Now there's the Cash App. Okay. Help me help somebody else. You know you're supposed to. I feel like preaching. It's what I do. But I got to go. Got to go to work. I love y'all. Have a great day. And always remember to think higher. Speak life. Peace out.